every day that we are together spending time in doing the most sacred job of being in touch with the truth through the Vedic chanting, through the chanting of the Upanishadic mantras, through the study of Upanishad, through the Bhashyam, and also the common sense thought, the prarthanas to all the rishis, gurus, munis, and the holy sacred sankalpa for the entire universe to grow spiritually. It's a very auspicious thing. May we understand the utility, the sublimity, the divinity, and the blessedness in this very divine aspect, and then know the intricacies and try to do them as best as we can. In the Vedic Upanishadic study, it is Shwethashwathara Upanishad, and again, every mantra, whether it is through Swarupa Lakshanas or Tatastha Lakshanas, is reminding us about the truth alone for us to recognize and realize and establish in. That's the main and only job the Upanishad has, to make us qualified and to give us the ultimate truth, because in that alone there is moksha, and the Upanishads are the highest authority for the moksha. Fifth chapter also, no less. We have already seen first two mantras. Last portion of the second mantra, while touching it, we enter into the subsequent mantras, each and every one of them. Let us understand that the attention is on the substratum, the truth, which is so tough, but then we have to keep on learning, keep on doing. While doing all this, we also should be mindful about all our Vyaktitva layers, and we have to keep on improving them. Then only our life will be smoother outside as well as inside. For this, we need the blessings of Parabrahma Tattva, Ishvara Tattva, Jagannatha, Devata Gana, and Guru Gana, Shastra Gana. In our endeavor of all this, we are invoking their grace also with full Shraddha, that definitely they see our honesty and bless us and empower us and qualify us and see to it that we get what we have to get, the ultimate. Also, throughout the day, be in the mood of prayerfulness to all these divine expressions to keep us on the path all the time. Friends, let's begin the day with our first activity of Veda Mantrocharana. We are doing Rigveda Dashama Mandalam. Let us do today 88 and 89. These two Anuvakas should be enough. Thank you. Om अथ वेदपारायणं ऋग्वेदः दशममण्डलम् अथ अष्टाशीतितम अनुवाकाद् आरभ्य ॐ हविष्पान्तमजरं स्वर्विदिति विस्पृश्याहुतं जुष्टमग्नौ तस्य भर्मणे भुवनाय देवा धर्मणेकं स्वदया प्रबधन्त गीर्णं भुवनं तमसापगूढमावि स्वरभवज्जाते अग्नौ तस्य देवाः पृथिवीद्यौरुतापोरणयन् ओषधीः सख्ये अस्य देवेभिर्न्विषितो यज्ञियेभिरग्निं स्तोषाण्यजरं बृहन्तं यो भानुना पृथिवीं द्यामुते मामाततान रोदसी अन्तरिक्षं यो होतासीत् प्रथमो देवजुष्टोऽयं समाञ्जन्नाज्येनावृणानाः सपतत्रे त्वरं स्था जगद्यज्वात्रमग्निरकृणोज्जातवेदाः यज्जातवेदो भुवनस्य मूर्धन्नतिष्ठो अग्ने सहरोचनेन तन्त्वा हेममतिभिर्गीर्भिरुक्तैः स यज्ञियो अभवो रोदसी प्राह मूर्धा भुवो भवति नक्तमग्निस्ततः सूर्यो जायते प्रातरुद्यन् मायामूतु यज्ञियानामेतामपो यत्तूर्निश्चरति प्रजानन् दृशेऽन्यो यो महिना समिद्धो रोचत दिव्यो निर्विभावा तस्मिन्नग्नौ सूक्तवाकेन देवा हविर्विश्व आजुहवुस्तनूपाः सूक्तवाकं प्रथममादिदग्निमदिद्धविरजनयन्थ देवाः स एषां यज्ञो अभवत्तनूपास्तं द्यौर्वेदत्वं पृथिवीतमापः यं देवासो जनयन्ताग्निं यस्मिन्नाजुहवुर्भुवनानि विश्वा सो अर्चिषा पृथिवीं द्यामुते मां रुजूयमानो हतपन्महित्वा स्तोमेन हि देवि देवासो अग्निमजीजनं शक्तिभिरोदसी प्रां तमो अकृण्वन्त्रेधा भुवे कंस ओषधीः पचति विश्वरूपाः यदेतेन मदधुर्यज्ञियासो दिवि देवाः सूर्यमादित्येयं यदा चरिष्णो मिथुनावभूताम् आदित्प्रापश्यन् भुवनानि विश्वा विश्वस्मा अग्निं भुवनाय देवा वैश्वानरं केतुमह्नाम कृण्वन् आयस्तथा नोषसो विभातिरपो पूर्णोति तमो अर्चिषायन् वैश्वानरं कवयो यज्ञियासोऽग्निं देवा अजनयन्नजोर्यं नक्षत्रं प्रत्नमविनच्छरिष्णु यक्षस्याध्यक्षन्त विषं बृहन्तं वैश्वानरं विश्वहादिदिवांसं मन्त्रैरग्निं कविमच्छावदामः यो महिम्ना परिबभूवोर्वि उतावस्थादुत देव परस्तात् द्वे श्रुते अशृणवं पितॄणामहं देवानामुत मर्त्यानां ताभ्यामिदं विश्वमेजत् समेति यदन्तरा पितरं मातरं च द्वे समीची बिभृतश्चरन्तं शीर्षतो जातं मनसा विमृष्टं स प्रत्यं विश्वा भुवनानि तस्थाव प्रयुज्यन्तरणिर्भ्राजमानः यत्रावदेते अवर परश्च यज्ञन्योः ततरो नौ विवेद आशेकुरित् सधमादं सखायो नक्षन्त यज्ञं क इदं विवोचत् कत्यग्नयः कति सूर्यास कत्युषास कत्युश्रिदावः नोपस्पिजं व पितरो वदामि पृच्छामि व कवयो विद्मनेकं यावन्मात्रमुषसो न प्रतीकं सुपर्ण्यो वसते मातरिश्वः तावत् दधात्युपयज्ञमायान् ब्राह्मणो होतुरवरो निषीदन् One more 89 इन्द्रं स्तवान् ऋतमं यस्य महना विवबाधे रोचना विङ्मो अन्तान् आयः पप्रौचर्षणी धृद्वरो प्रसिन्धुभ्योरिरिचानो महित्वा स सूर्यः पर्युरोपरांसेन्द्रो ववृत्याद्रथ्येव चक्रा अतिष्ठन्तमपश्यं न सर्गं कृष्णा तमांसि त्विष्या जघान समानमस्मा अनपावृदर्चक्ष्मया दिवो असमं ब्रह्मणव्यं वियः पृष्ठेव जनिमान्यर्य इन्द्रश्चिकाय न सखाय मीशे इंद्राय गिरो अनिशितः सर्गा अव प्रेरयं सागरस्य बुध्नात् यो अक्षेणेव चक्रिया शचीभिर्विश्वक्तस्तंभ पृथिवीमुतद्याम् आपान्तमन्योस्त्रुफलप्रभर्माधुनि शिमीवाञ्चरुमारुजेशे सोमो विश्वान्यथसावनानि नार्वाग् इन्द्रं प्रतिमानानि देभुः न यस्यद्या वा पृथिवी न धन्वनान्तरिक्षं नाद्रयः सोमो अक्षाः यदस्य मन्युरधिनीयमान शृणाति वीडुरुजति स्थिराणि जगानवृत्रं स्वदितिर्वने वरुरोजपुरो हरदन्न सिन्धोन बिभेद गिरिं नवमिन्न कुम्भमागा इन्द्रो अकृणुत स्वयुग्भिः त्वं हत्यद्वृणया इन्द्रधीरोऽसिर्न पर्व वृजिना शृणासि प्रये मित्रस्य वरुणस्य धामयुजं न जना मिनन्ति मित्रं प्रये मित्रं प्रार्यमणन्दुरेवाः प्रसङ्गिर प्रवरुणं मिनन्ते न्यमित्रेषु वदमिन्द्रतुम्रं वृषन् वृषाणमरुषं शिशीः इन्द्रो दिव इन्द्र ईशे पृथिव्या इन्द्रो अपामिन्द्र पर्वतानाम् इन्द्रो वृधामिन्द्र इन्मेतिराणामिन्द्र क्षेमे योगे हव्य इन्द्रः प्राप्तोभ्य इन्द्रः प्रवृतो अहभ्य प्रातरिक्षात् प्रसमुद्रस्य धासेः प्रवातस्य प्रथस प्रज्मो अन्तात् प्रसिन्धुभ्यो रिरिचे प्रक्षितिभ्यः प्रशोषुचत्या उषसो न केतुरसिन्वाते वर्ततामिन्द्रहेतिः अश्मेव विद्य दिव आसुजानस्तपिष्ठेन हेषसाद्रोघमित्रान् अन्वहमासा अन्विद्वनान्यन्वोषधीरनु पर्वतासः अन्विन्द्रं रोदसी वावशाने अन्वापो अजिहत जायमानम् कर्हि स्वित्सात इन्द्रचेत्यासदघस्य यद् भिनदो रक्ष एषत मित्रकृभो यच्छ सनेन गाव पृथिव्या आपृगमुया क्षयन्ते शत्रूयन्तो अभियेनस्ततस्रेमहि व्राधन्त ओगणास इन्द्र अन्धेनामित्रास्तमसा सचन्तां सुज्योतिषो अक्तवस्ता अविश्युः पुरोणिहित्वा सवना जनानां ब्रह्माणि मन्दन् गृणताम् ऋषीणाम् इमामाघोषन्नवसा सहूतिं तिरो विश्वागम् अर्चतो याह्यर्वाग् एवाते वयमिन्द्रभुञ्जतीनां विद्यामसुमतीनां नवानां विद्यामवस्तोरवसा गृणन्तो विश्वामित्रा उतत इन्द्र नूनं शुनं हुवेम मघवानमिन्द्रमस्मिन् भरेन्नृतमं वाजसातौ शृण्वन्तमुग्रमोतये समत्सुघ्नन्तौ वृत्राणि सञ्जितं धनानाम् ओम शांति शांति शांति. Yes, 89 we have done, 90 we will do tomorrow. Friends, in today's common sense thought, Narayana. Simple, only one thought for us to discuss, and it is ki we are studying Vedanta, we are studying the Atma Vidya, we are studying the Upanishad Vidya, we are studying the Brahma Vidya. Let us be aware of this fact that this pursuit of our Brahma Vidya, Upanishad Vidya, should never be an escapism from all other things that are to be done in the world. In the evolution of all of them, we have to reach to it. That is the correct attitude we have to maintain. But never ever think or feel or behave in such a manner that I am spiritual to escape, to forego, or to be responsible in any of the outer vyavahara. Both have to be equally, duly, beautifully understood and managed. Right? Just because I am studying the Upanishadic Vedantic Grantha without being qualified, if I try to wrongly do the things in the world, I will be affected wrongly, negatively, and then the spirituality will not take responsibility. Yes, I am spiritual, definitely, surely, the seeker in me is seeking the ultimate. There is no doubt. Absolute surety, certainty in this regard. At the same time, mind you, when we come to the Vyavahara level, when we come to the empirical level, at that level, whatever the rules, the regulations are there, they have to be fully, thoroughly understood and followed and abided. That's what's the meaning of the sentence. That the spirituality should not become an escapism for anything, should not be a reason for our irresponsibility or any of the lethargies, etc. Keep this thought always in mind. Growing to such a level of total maturity that we are able to know everything, balance everything, do everything, grow systematically, that should be our attitude. So, first point, just because I am Adhyatmika Sadhaka, for me, the Prakriti and its rules of the whole nature will not change. The outer Prakriti will continue to be in its own way. While I am living at that level, all those rules and regulations of the Prakriti I have to understand and I have to follow. The seasons will come and go, the seasonal things will come and go. At that time, what is to be done to protect me, to gain things for me, I have to do the same things. For me, the Garmi will not become Sardi, Sardi will not become Garmi. You understand? The Prakriti rules will keep on going in that way. When we come to that level, just be respectful to all that phenomena that is happening, even though we reject all this at the highest level of Vedantic evolution. But before that, here when we are, please be conscious to be duly valuing respect. In the same way, second one, just because I am Adhyatmic Sadhaka, the happenings in the world, for example, now the Kali Yuga is going on, won't change for me. They have their own way of happening. The world outside will be like that only. It is I who have to become sensitive, sensible, to know exactly what's happening, to be very matured, to follow all the rules and regulations, so that I am protected, so that the world is not harmed by me. We need not hate anything, dislike anything, have fighting with anything in the outer world. At the cosmic level, at the universal level, at the global level, at the national level, at the state level, at our neighborhood level, even our domestic level. Second point. Third one, just because I am Adhyatmika Sadhaka, pursuer of the truth, the relations around me, cannot be neglected. We have to grow out of them, grow beyond them, by being in them, by following all the rules and regulations and dharma, and not by escaping. If I am professional, I have to follow the professional rules. I am sadhaka, so I will not do my profession, not allowed. If you don't want to do, then resign there. Being there and not doing duty is a sin. Spirituality will not take responsibility for it. When I am in the society, with the people around us. If there are friends dharmas are there. If they are relatives, the relative dharmas are there. If the family members are there, the dharma of every of those relations are there, which we have to be without any laziness, escapism, have to perform. This Adhyatmikata cannot become an excuse to become lazy, irresponsible then. All of them are so beautiful. Each of them have to be understood and managed in such a manner that they all add up to our spiritual qualification. That will happen only when we follow the rules and regulations every place. In fact, the more I have to be the Adhyatmic Sadhaka, the more I have to be responsible to follow the rules, regulations at every Vyavahara empirical level. That alone is the sign of maturity, sign of purity. We can never escape because the mind, if we are not aware of it, takes help of these intellectual spiritual knowledge to justify its laziness, to justify its escapism, etc. We have to be very mindful about it. We can never afford to give up our any of the dharma responsibilities to the people around. Third one. First is the whole Prakriti, second is whole universal happenings, third is the people around us associated with us. If you want to be no responsible to them, then take a full sannyasa and go somewhere depending only on the divine, live there. If we are in this phenomenal world, we have to follow the rules. Isn't it? If you board a flight, you have to have the Aadhaar card, ID card. You can't say Ham Brahmasmi. Isn't it? If you go to the hotel to eat, you have to pay the bill there, give the tips there, whatever. Isn't it? व्यवहार में व्यावहारिक धर्मों को भली भांति निभाना ही maturity. Think about it. Third one. The fourth one is what? Just because I am Adhyatmic Sadhaka, the rules, regulations that are to be followed at the Dehendra Prana Manobuddhi level also cannot be neglected. They have their own natures, they have their own abilities, they have their own limitations, they have their own wants minimum, isn't it? Needs minimum. So we have to be managing, taking care of them. We have to love them, we have to understand them, we have to go along with them, we have to be friendly with them, and then with the help of them, we should be able to evolve in Adhyatmikata. Otherwise, मैं साधक को इसलिए प्रॉपर भोजन नहीं करूँगा, प्रॉपर स्लीप नहीं करूँगा, then the body is gone or disturbed, it will not allow us to do sadhana. Isn't it? So too the indriyas. We can't leave them, they have to be kept up to the mark level, sharp and subtle. So too the mindfulness about the mind, the awareness of the intellect, none of the upadhis also can be neglected just with the notion, thought that मैं अध्यात्मिक हूँ. See, doesn't it happen to you and me? Just because of our excuse that we are coming to the classes throughout the day, there is a chance for us to become negligent about these faculties. And either we don't take care of them or we let loose them, become licentious. मैं तो spiritual हूँ, जो करना है कर सकता हूँ. ऐसा नहीं होता. When we are here in the phenomenal world with the upadhis, they have to be respected. Hungry है, खाना खाओ, rest लो, थक गया तो diseased है, तो medicine ले लो, रक्षा करो उसको. Isn't it? देहादि उपाधि, इंद्रियादि उपाधि, मन उपाधि, उनके अपने अपने कैपेसिटीज, लिमिटेशंस, नेसेसिटीज होते हैं. इन सबको देखभाल करना भी हमारा ड्यूटी है. Isn't it? When we are at the highest level of totally evolved sadhaka, that time, as said in Krishna, Yoga Kshemam Vahami, it will happen. He said, I will take care of your Yoga Kshema. But imagine what Krishna must have done every day. कभी कभी सोचो what Puja Gurudev must have done. Were they negligent or what throughout the day? They were mindful only, even though they are avatara, even though they are Mahajnani Siddha Purusha, they were masters of their all personality layers in respecting them, not in neglecting them, not in humiliating them, not in allowing them to get spoiled. नहीं हो सकता हो. Just because for the name's sake, without any deeper शास्त्र अध्ययन इत्यादि, नाम के वास्ते साधक बनकर, like नाम के वास्ते I am Indian, but what am I doing for my Bharat Mata? नाम के वास्ते I am Hindu Sanatana Dharmi. Who is a Hindu? Why is a Hindu? Why Hinduism is great? What do we know? सिर्फ नाम के वास्ते. नाम के वास्ते I am the भक्त of this भगवान. अरे उस भगवान के कौन सा पुराण पढ़ा, कौन सा ग्रंथ पढ़ा, क्या उनके कितनी लीलाओं को जानते हो? Which of the stotras of that your इष्ट देवा you have by hearted? किशन भक्त मैं हूँ, एक स्तोत्र नहीं आता, नाटंकी, एक श्लोक नहीं बोलने आता है कृष्ण का. एंड आई से आई एम भगवान कृष्णास भक्त. बट somebody told me कृष्णा कृष्णा बोलो हो जाएगा. वो हो जाएगा मतलब he will be saved from you. That's why he told. है ना, वो हो जाएगा इज इन द बिगिनिंग. नहीं होता, वो बहुत करना होता है. बस भगवान का नाम मैं 2 मिनट लेता हूं, ऐसा नहीं होता है. So like that we claim. So too we claim we are the Bhakta, disciple of this Guru. In what way we are disciple? Have we understood his mission, his vision? Have we understood his guidance indirectly and directly? Have we digested them? Are we abiding in them? नाम के वास्ते. In the same way, नाम के वास्ते साधक कहते हुए, everywhere if we are careless, negligent about ourselves, our presence in the world, our relation with the world, our responsibility to the world, then वो spirituality तो गया. यहाँ भी हम जो है will become a liability, will not be tolerated or accepted by the world. The more we claim to be spiritual, the more we have to be responsible, to be more careful, to be an example to others. That being alert and abiding by all rules, regulations at every level is the real maturity, real growth. We can never take even an iota of the thing also for granted. We have to follow the traffic rules. We have to follow the constitutional rules. We have to follow the do's, don'ts that are told by the government when we are there in that nation. Just because मैं आध्यात्मिक साधक हूँ, कुछ भी चलता है, कुछ नहीं चलता. साधक means more response. Correct? So in this way, while dealing with the Prakriti, with the world, with the beings around, with the professions, with our own upadhis, at the same time, we can never forget even for a moment, again our main goal. And toward this, our main goal of Adhyatmikata, the relentlessness in our study, till the picture becomes very clear about the nature of the self or the truth, about where he is available, how to obtain him, what are my qualifications, what sadhanas I have to do. For being very clear about all these things, the regular Shravana, Dhyana, Manana cannot be given up. And while doing all these two aspects, the third one of, as we are taught in our evening class of Brahmanuchintanam, our Chintanam that Aham Brahmasmi, that can never be given up. That is the most important goal. तो स्वामी फिर इतना मिलकर बहुत हेवी हो जाता है ना, या ऐसा मिलकर ही जिंदगी कहते हैं. You understood it? And in doing so, first refraining from the negativities. Then through the dharma, doing our due. Then anything better we want, for that also what is required to be done. Fourth, very important thing we missed out, that this whole world is at the matter level, at the outer level, is ruled, governed by the ultimate Ishvara along with so many Devata Ganas. So propitiating them, worshipping them, tuning to them, requesting them for our betterment of the upadhis, for the better conveniences of outside, all of that also has to be done. Protect from becoming irresponsible, lazy, protect from misusing for negative things, do the due dharma. Then from our side, what is to be done to better all these, which we have to do that also. That is like if I want to be fit at the body level, more exercises, a good amount of food, good quality, nutritious food. है ना ये करोगे तो फिर then better than what I am now I can be. है ना और इसी में the infinite Ishvara is there and all Devata Gana are there. Each of them have their own abilities to bless us. जैसे आपके बंधु मित्र गणों में each one has some or the other capacity to help. अगर if you are tuning to them in those respective ways where they can help, you can take their help. देवता गण भी ऐसे ही होते, right? We must tune to them. We have to be empowered with their help also. Mind you, all these things, refraining from negative, doing the dharma, doing those things to better upon, tuning to the divine, all of these should be again, be attentive, molded towards the ultimate truth. Because that's our main goal. Otherwise, इस चक्कर में उसको नहीं भूल जाना. लोगों में ये भी डेंजर होता है when they are told about the dharmas and the upasanas, the service to the world, they get so much caught up in that they forget that all of them are with the aim of our main spiritual goal. Sometimes in this thing, the mistake can be the one by the one who is guiding also. If he is not aware to say that भैया ये सब हम तो कह रहे करने को, but none of these are an ultimate goal. Your ultimate goal is that only. All these things should gear up for that only. All of these have to be kept done, keeping in mind our main ultimate goal. And while doing these things, while attending to the main goal, we attend. As we are able to go deeper and deeper in it, and it requires more time, more intense application. Therefore, from one by one, these are the things we can slowly withdraw. Remember, for Mamekam Sharanam Vraja only, we can do Sarvadharman Parinteja. If Mamekam Sharanam Vraja is not done, Sarvadharma Avalambana or Abhyasa is a must. That is the main way of understanding that shloka. In the same way, Ananya Chintayantah Mam Paripasate Nityabhiyuktana. See that? Ananya Chintana of the Lord. Paritaha Upasana of the Lord. Nitya Abhiyukti with the Lord. When these three things we do from our side, then only Yoga Kshemam Bahami. Don't misunderstand that. मैं कहा भगवान को मैं आपका भगत हूँ, अब मेरा योगक्षेम देख लो. He will give a danda. He said, when you do all these three, then I do your yogakshem. Not that this sentence you take as an excuse to be lazy, irresponsible. Nahi hota. Like, why will the government take care of me, give me permission, gives me a quarter to stay and also the vehicle? Because so much I am working for the government. And if I am not going to the office only regularly, no files I am moving forward, मेरे को promotion थोड़ी देंगे, demotion suspend ही कर देंगे. Isn't it? Slowly, a new set of thinkers should come who should keep suspending those who are not performing at every level. Then only people start learning to perform. Then only they can come out of their lazinesses, distractions and indulgences. Then only with everybody's contribution, the world will grow. है कि नहीं? बहुत lazy है in this regard our system. that we keep on. First of all, take those people who are not qualified on through the various reservation systems. Secondly, we are so lenient that non-performers also we keep on encouraging. That वही जाकर के ठप कर देता है कोई देश की प्रगति को. Anyway, so this is how spirituality means a full awareness. Spirituality means full knowledge. Spirituality means total responsibility taken. Spirituality means all in all involvement consciously, dynamically at every moment. Spirituality and laziness can never go together. Spirituality and irresponsibility can never go together. As a spiritual person, we can never be liability to the world. Give more than what we take, produce more than what we consume. Isn't it? So therefore, the outer world, respect. The worldly happenings, respect. All the relations around, respect more than them. Value more than them. Being a spiritual person, with his mother, you have to respect her more than the worldly person. Father, more than the other person. Your brothers, sisters, friends, see the divinity in them and respect them more and be concerned and do the due. So too for our upadhis. है ना, उनका मिसयूज भी नहीं चलेगा, अब्यूज भी नहीं चलेगा, निगलेक्ट करना भी नहीं चलेगा, ओवर यूज भी नहीं चलेगा. समझना, उसका रक्षा करना, उनको जो चाहिए देना, उससे जो काम होता है वो लेना. And all of these, and the most important one, our regular tuning to the Ishvara, the Samashti, the total, isn't it? And more can be explained about it maybe on another day, but a hint is given that we being Veshti for everything depend on the Samashti. To be in tune with the Samashti in a most cordial way is always called for, is always beautiful. And when you are in good humor, good relation with your boss, doing all the works, and proving your worth and value and importance to him, and he also realizes it, and then he is giving higher responsibilities also, higher facilities also, promotions also, respects also. कितना मजा आता है. In the same way with the Divine Lord, be in good tune with him, accept his presence, accept his powers, acknowledge whatever he is giving us, extend gratitudes, know from him what he is expecting from us, do that, never fight with him. है ना, भगवान से लड़ते हैं हम, दूसरे देवताओं से लड़ते हैं, प्रकृति से लड़ते हैं, अड़ोस पड़ोस से लड़ते हैं, फैमिली से लड़ते हैं. फाइनली देयर इज अ कंटिन्यूअस फाइटिंग फॉर अस विथ आवर ओन उपाधिस, फाइटिंग विद द शरीर, ट्रबलिंग द शरीर, है ना. ओवर ईटिंग इज आई एम ट्रबलिंग द शरीर, रॉन्ग फूड ईटिंग इज आई एम ट्रबलिंग इट, नॉट गिविंग इट ड्यू एक्सरसाइज और द क्लीनलीनेस, नीटनेस, ये सारा मैं मेरे शरीर को तंग कर रहा हूँ. मैं आई एम द बिगेस्ट एनिमी टू माई ओन बॉडी. आई ओनली एम द इररेस्पॉन्सिबल. अब इससे भी लड़ते हैं, है ना. सो इन सो मेनी प्लेसेस वी हैव टू लर्न एंड करेक्ट आवर वेज. दैट्स कॉल्ड एज लिविंग. लिविंग फॉर द हाईएस्ट पर्पस, लिविंग फ्रूटफुली, उसी को जीना कहते हैं. उस जीने से ही हम आगे चल सकते. जीना also means in one language the ladder, सीढ़ी है, उसी को जीना कहते हैं. उसको पकड़ कर ही आगे ऊपर चढ़ सकते हैं. So therefore, I am spiritual, I have to be more responsible. I am spiritual, I have to be more disciplined. I am spiritual, I am to be more committed. I am spiritual, I have to be greater performer. Isn't it? These things this way go together, not the other way. I am spiritual, therefore let others do things for me. ये तुम्हारा पुण्य सारा उनके लिए जाएगा, अब अगले जन्म में उनको सेवा करने के लिए आओगे, तब तक तो सारा साधना इधर उधर पोस्टपोन हो जाता है, और योर प्रोग्रेस विल बी hindered. So hope the thought is conveyed the way it has to be conveyed, and you got it. More dynamic, more performing, more contributing, more responsible in every aspect we have to. All the rules, regulations, duties, norms we have to follow. The social beautiful things, added to it some spiritual values, what do you say, whenever they are acceptable. Not necessarily everywhere our goodness, our nature, our help is accepted. वहाँ भी थोड़ा careful होना है ना. That's again sensitivity. Many times while experimenting we may fail. So take it in a good humor, learn from it. And like I am traveling in train bus. So the learning is that be social. But the neighbor may not want it. He wants to sleep, or he want to read his book, or he want to be contemplative about the project for which he is going. So you try to be social, but he says, sir, I am with myself, don't just accept it. Means an example I am giving. The world and world's doings are, again I am taking you to another angle of thinking, not for a long thing, only a minute, that the whole world and worldly happenings are so complicated web that even though the things are correct, people may not accept. So we have to be smart enough, intelligent enough not to insist, same time maintaining our dignity, maintaining their respect and maintaining their relation. ये भी एक पार्ट होता है जिंदगी में, सब मिलकर लाइफ. All in all, continuous thought. I must learn, I must grow in my performance, I must better in my learning, I must better in my performance, in my all outer life, more than that in my inner spirituality. वो वाला तड़प, वो वाला इच्छा, वो वाला संकल्प, वो वाला प्रार्थना, वो वाला प्रयत्न लगातार इतना चलते रहना, that in that flood of our doing all those things, the so-called lazinesses, the so-called extrovertedness, all the distractions, भोगा आसक्तिस, पता ही नहीं चलना चाहिए कि वो कब मुझे छोड़कर चले गए. That's the highest way of living. So aggressively, dynamically I am living my positive expected life, that all this non-positive with which I was struggling so much the other day, पता ही नहीं वो कहाँ चले गए. ये है जिंदगी में तरक्की या नहीं तो कामयाबी. So let's be mindful that way and enjoy living so beautifully well that when we look back for a moment, that should give us a joy that we lived well, and that should inspire us to do better today. In that way, be in that mood. Don't allow the mind to overpower with its demands, desires, distractions, and its own regrets, guilts, and negativities, as well as the weaknesses that I cannot do this, I cannot do that. एक एक अनेक प्रकार से ये मन नामक माया हमारा फंसाता ही रहता है. It's like you are nagging a child, whether he knows it or not, deliberately or not, but his nature is as if to trouble you in whatever you do. है ना. When a nagging child is, वो आपको खाने नहीं देगा, उसको आपको सोने नहीं देगा, वो बैठने नहीं देगा चैन से, वो टीवी नहीं देखने देगा, वो बाहर भी नहीं जाने देगा. वो कोई घर में गेस्ट लोग आते हैं तो he'll not allow you to attend to them. He's a very funny fellow. सब घर में होते हैं ना बच्चे. Like that is the mind of all of us. He doesn't allow you to smile. It doesn't allow you to be gambhira. It doesn't allow you to be matured. It doesn't allow us to learn, to perform. पता नहीं वो उसका क्या, इट्स लाइक अपोजिशन पार्टी इन द पार्लियामेंट, कुछ भी करने नहीं देंगे। विचित्र है वो आवर माइंड। सो बी माइंडफुल अबाउट दैट, है ना, डेवलप ऑल द tactics to tackle it. This topic little more we have seen yesterday also. What is the meaning of अपने आप को जीतना वगैरह, right friends? Thank you. Om 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 Sahnavatu Sahno Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ओम येदिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वम् ओम शंकरं शंकराचार्यम् ओम निधये सर्वविद्यानाम् ओम व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् ओम सुकृते धिकृते बहुधा भवतु ओम ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मत् गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो नमः। संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्ष कैवल्य प्राप्ति सनातन धर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगति एकता शांति पुरोभिवृद्धि धर्म संस्थापकानां निरंतर दिग्विजयः श्रीराम मंदिरवत् शिव कृष्णादि मंदिरादीनां पुनर्वाम्ने तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातन धर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रुघ्न समूल निर्मूलन पूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वेशस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिक हिंदव संस्कृतेः धर्म मोक्ष पुरुषार्थानां सुसंप्रतिष्ठा अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां संकल्पित सत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयः तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थं कृष्णे यजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओम नित्यानंदं निराधारं निखिलाधारम् अव्ययं निगमाद्यगतं नित्यं नीलकण्ठं नमाम्यहम्। पारायणम् अथ षष्ठोऽध्यायः। 6 चैप्टर का 4, 5, 6। ओम आरभ्य कर्माणि गुणान्वितानि भावांश्च सर्वान् विनियोजयेद्यः तेषामभावे कृतकर्मनाशः कर्मक्षये याति स तत्त्वतोऽन्यः आदिस्स संयोग निमित्त हेतुः परस्त्रिकालादकलोऽपि दृष्टः तं विश्वरूपं भवभूतमीड्यं देवं स्वचित्तस्थमुपास्य पूर्वं सवृक्षकालाकृतिभिः परोऽन्यः यस्मात् प्रपञ्चः परिवर्ततेयं धर्मावहं पापनुदं भगेशं ज्ञात्वात्मस्थम् अमृतं विश्वधाम। Yesterday also we chanted same mantras. I remembered. Never mind. Now, second mantra is seen of this Panchamodhyaya. Only one para we have to see the last one. The mantra is Yo yonim adhitishtati ekaha vishvani rupani yonischa sarvaha ऋषिं प्रसूतं कपिलं यस्तमग्रे ज्ञानैर्विवर्ति जायमानं च पश्येत्। With a very big expanded intellect, matured intellect, subtle intellect, intellect which is well versed in the Upanishadic way of thinking, these mantras have to be comprehended, which takes time. We just started our journey of studying Shastras just now. So maybe in 10 12 lives, every life, whole life if you spend, then the sublimity, subtlety of these mantras to some extent we may be able to grasp them. Here, if we look at the outside as a holistic view, Vihanga Vikshana, If you want to have a bird's eye view, what is it is, there is one Paramatma. Second is a whole phenomenal world. Third, the entire phenomenal worlds, whatever are happening in His presence. Without Him, none of them can happen. And we, while being in this world, know that all are because of that presence of Paramatma and keep Him as the goal, keep on giving the credit to Him. Again, from Paramatma's standpoint, though in His presence all of them are happening, He is not affected by them. He is intact in His own pristine gloria, Sachidananda. So, do we also, in our evolution at the Upadhi level, from the single cell microbe up to the human body level, we have grown. From here further we may grow. To whatever the level we grow, even up to the Brahmadeva level, still we are not independent. We always, for our Upadhi levels growth, need the presence of the reality. We must. Secondly, this Upadhi level growth. To whatever the highest level also we reach, again like Hiranyagarbha, still there is no moksha. Because जहाँ उपाधि है वहाँ व्याधि है आदि है संसार है. Therefore, improve upon the upadhis for the better sadhana to realize the nirupadhika Brahman. Don't improve upon the upadhis to revel at the upadhi level with its powers in the outer indulgence and forget the reality. Just like in this world also, is somebody a municipal councillor or MLA or MP or PM? It doesn't matter at all because in and through in all those positions, if they are not spiritual, they are with their own positions, all of them are samsari. Same way, somebody is a rodpati or hazarpati or lakpati or 10 lakh or karodpati or 100 karodpati. It has nothing to do. If they are not spiritual, all of them are bound. So too, if somebody has 1 friend, 10 friends, 100 friends, 1,000 friends, whole world recognizes him and gives him all the titles. Anna, like the fellow in America, he is disturbing the whole world and wanting the Nobel Peace Prize. See the contradiction. Peace Prize चाहिए और सारा peace को तोड़ दे रहा है. So you may get all that, but it has nothing to do if one is not a spiritual. Be aware of it. And through all these studies, this is what we have to learn, that growing spiritually in our understanding and identity with the self is anyway the noblest thing and the highest goal, and then the only goal it must be. To facilitate that, at the Upadhi level, we may grow. Not to forget that. You understood? You want to become rich? Yeah. Why you want to become rich? So that I can do my Upasana Yajna Sadhana, so that I become qualified for Tattva. Then it's okay. Like in the Aitreya Upanishad. The Omkara Paramatma is prayed to bless with all the wealth and riches. पूछा क्यों? उससे मैं यज्ञ करके अंतःकरण शुद्धि करूंगा. और क्यों अंतःकरण शुद्धि? So that धारणो भूयासम. अमृतस्य देव धारणो भूयासम. May I become capable of holding and upholding the Amrita, the truth, the reality. So, in and through these mantras, that underlining main principle we have to catch. What is that? The phenomenal world is not independent of the Brahman, the reality, at every of its level. And that Brahman, by his mere presence, allowing all this to happen. And yet, he is not affected by any of this. Identifying with that Brahman and then being liberated like him, even though we are in the phenomenal world, Lopadis is our goal. These things should become clearer day by day, deeper day by day, understood, accepted, as well as keeping that as the goal, walk towards that state. यही है इसका अर्थ. यह योनिम योनिम अधितिष्ठति, यह एकः, यह विश्वानि रूपाणि अधितिष्ठति, यह योनिश्च सर्वाः अधितिष्ठति. So though this is mystic Vedic way of saying, but with little alertness, don't we see entire phenomenal world is picturized here, and what is told is that Ekah Paramatma is Adhisthana, Adhitishtati, Niyamayati, all these things. And the topic of Kapila Hiranyagarbha is brought to say, we all are from the first primordial Adi Purusha. That Adi Purusha is Hiranyagarbha. He is also not independent. He is also projected by, empowered by, enlightened by that reality only. So that none of the Upadhi level expression should feel they are independent of the reality. Should never feel. That's the meaning of Jnanair Vivarti Jayamanancha Pashyet. Jayamanancha Pashyet is the manifestation and unmanifestation of even that Hiranyagarbha also is in the presence of the divinity. Jnanair Vibharti means during the Sthiti Kala, to maintain the entire Jagat, whatever the Jnanadi Shaktis are required for the total being Hiranyagarbha, they are given to him by again that reality only. And this thing again 100 more times when we listen, then that thing starts understood by us and we start even accepting. What is to be accepted? Simple. Ki the mud allows the pot to happen in it. Yet neither it loses its mudness nor it gets conditioned by the potness. And mud doesn't lose its mudness nor it gets conditioned by the pot's potness. What is the pot's condition? It is born, it is modified, it gets destroyed one day. So Janma, Vyakruti and Mrityu of the pot doesn't create the Janma, Vyakriti, Mrityu to the mud. Same time, mud has not lost its own essential nature. So too the Brahman, the Almighty, the reality, is always Sachidananda. On him at the Samashti level with his own Maya, on him at Vyashti level with our own mind, phenomenal n number of things we may project, like we project the whole dream world in the dream. The whole waking world also is projection. Yet, the mud, the reality, the Brahman, it doesn't change. Yet, the Brahman, the mud is not affected by the potness. So too, the name and form of the world doesn't touch the Brahman. And this is what the state of experience we have to reach to in our identity. Let us be clear about all of them. Then, any of the Purana, Itihasa, Shruti we study should know that all are indicating Ekavakyena, the truth. That should become our habit also, that throughout our life's performance, the bottom line should be the truth. है ना, सत्य को जानने के लिए, सत्य में बैठने के लिए, सत्य अनुभव पाने के लिए ही जो भी करना है हम करेंगे. जो करने से सत्य से दूर होते हैं वो नहीं करना. So that type of deep awareness we have to develop. That's the purpose of reminding us about the truth through every of this mantra. पूरा मंत्र में आपको विश्व दिखता है, विश्व में हिरण्यगर्भ दिखता है, विश्व में देवतागण दिख रहे हैं, उपाधियां दिख रहे हैं. Every of the mantra, but what are told is all of them are independent नहीं है, they depend on the reality. And then, as the other day we saw this beautiful thought, some 1 month back or 1820, that the one who having seen this most beautiful, enchanting world of names and forms forgets the reality, he is samsari, ignorant fellow. And the one innate through all these phenomena of the beautiful enchanting world is reminded of the Lord, he is the sadhaka. Lord in Bhakti Marga is any of the form, in the Vedanta, the Brahman, the reality. जितना ही फर्क है, जो कुछ भी आपको दिख रहा है, प्रतिबोध विदितम, आप उसको, वो आपको भगवान को याद करा रहा है, तो यू आर इन राइट ट्रैक ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग. एनीथिंग यू सी, जस्ट फॉरगेट द लॉर्ड, सो यू आर पक्का मोहग्रस्त एंड deluded person. For a sadhaka, world reminds the reality. For a deluded fellow, the world makes forget the Lord. इतना फर्क है, राइट? तो yesterday ज्ञानैर बिभर्ति जायमानं च पश्येत, and before that, while the Purana quotation is given, he has chosen such Purana which also helps us to know that any expression with Rupa Nama is the divinity only. We are just touched upon, made to touch upon the topic. Purana ka quotation mein, like for example, this one, Tvam Shakrah Sarva Devanam Brahma Brahma Vidam Asi Vayur Balavatam Devaha Yoginam Tvam Kumarakaha Rushinam Chavasishthastvam Vyaso Veda Vidam Asi Sankhyanam Kapilo Devaha Rudranamasi Shankara Iti Parama Rushi Prasiddha. This is exactly like the 10th chapter of Gita, Vibhuti Yoga. So here a category of things are told and said that among them this is what is Paramatma. And remember, it's a prakriya training us to recognize the presence of Paramatma. Prakriya to train us to recognize presence of Paramatma. Right? It doesn't mean like when the Lord says, I am the Himalayas in mountains. Means the other mountains, the Vindhyachala, the Aravali, the Sahyadri, ये भगवान नहीं है क्या? No, all are Bhagwan. But to develop the bhava that Sarva Parvata is Paramatma, somewhere we have to start. So we are given an initiative to start to see his presence in Himalaya. You know? Like if he says, Indriyana Manaschasmi or Devanamasmi Vasavaha, I am among the Devatas Indra, it doesn't mean the other Devatas, he is not. For us, the practice is given, start seeing in Indra the divinity. Then extend that ability to see the divine in every of the Devata. है ना? मैं पक्ष में गरुत्मान हूँ, बस बाकी कौन है फिर? If they are not Bhagwan, then Bhagwan cannot be infinite. If Bhagwan has to be Anantana, सब वही होना पड़ता है. Obviously, isn't it? So here also we are given the Vibhuti Upasana. In this Purana, that's quoted to tell us about the Maharishi Kapila is me. This quotation is because in the main mantra, it is said, Rishim Prasutam Kapilam Yastamagre Jnanail Vivarti Jayamanam Chapashet as an expression to that, this quotation. So we are encashing it to just add again to our already heard understanding that Tam Shakra Sarva Devanam, you are Indra among all Devatas. To begin with. Thereafter, all Devatas are is you only. So to Tam Brahma Brahma Vidam. You are the Brahma Deva in all the Brahma Vedas. Thereafter, all the rishis who know Brahman, that is you only. Then Vayur Balavatam. Among all the powerful, you are the Vahidev. Any other Devata also is you only later on. Then Yoginam Tvam Kumaraka. Among the Yoga Purushas, you are the Sanat Kumara. Talk about Sanaka Sanandana Sanatana, वो भगवान नहीं क्या? वो भी पहले यहाँ से शुरू करो. See, this trick of the mind to misguide us is so subtle that unless we are more subtle at our intellectual level, then that we cannot catch. जैसे कि एक तरह वो नास्तिक होता है मन, ठीक है? Thereafter, जब इसको आस्तिकता देकर कहते हैं चलो राम भक्त बनो, it becomes Rama Bhakta so much that it starts hating Krishna and Shiva. अब देखो माया माइंड का है ना. टू बिकम राम भक्ता इज ए बिगिनिंग. टू बिकम भक्ता ऑफ ऑल देवतास. Because one Paramadevata only is expressing through all devatas, no? Think about it. Everywhere, like the Guru too, to my Guru. My Guru, I have to develop my surrender to learn from him, to tune to him. But I hate other Gurus because they are not my Guru. अरे गुरु घंटाल ऐसा नहीं होता. Through all Guru, same Guru Tattva is expressing. But see the trick of the mind, how it conditions. Isn't it? We have to be very careful. And this carefulness again should be humorously, I am telling you, applied where it has to be applied. For example, if this house is mine, don't say here, Swamiji, I just started saying this my house is mine, now I am expanding. What is it? That every house is mine. ये यहाँ नहीं चलता फिर. I am beginning to say this car is mine. So now I am expanding that all cars are mine. ऐसा नहीं होता. In regard to the material things, nothing is mine. Whatever one I deserve, I am given, that alone. Confused नहीं होना इन चीजों में. Okay, then we were told Rishinam cha Vasishtaha. So only Vasishta Rishi is he about Vishwamitra Vamadeva and all. वो भी वही है. फिर व्यासो वेद विदाम. In the knower of the Vedas, Vyasa. But in the Vedas, how many rishis names come? Hundreds of them. What about them? वो भी भगवान है. फिर उसी तरह सांख्यानाम कपिलो देवः. In the givers of the jnana to the praja, it is Kapila who has come as the avatara. Bhagwan came as Kapila avatar. But doesn't mean the other avatars are not him. Every one of them. Rudranamasi Shankara. So 11 Rudras are there. One of their name is Shankara. So that one alone is Shankara. Bhagavad about other 10 Rudras. वो सब भी वही एक भगवान. Right? इस तरह we have to understand. And while doing so, slowly the thought should go deeper. कि no upadhi yukta expression of individuality can be without the reality behind. इसका मन अनुचिंतन करते करते slowly we have to come to a level that one reality seen through the upadhis is many. Okay? So the reality only when it is seen through its upadhi of parrot, it is considering itself as parrot. And through the cow as a cow, through a human as a human. In the human, I am seeing through my gunas, my upadhis, I the conscious self. Me the conscious self thinks myself to be this at this moment, through this. The one who understands it deeply, ponders or contemplates, two things happen to him. One, transcendentally, he realizes that he is that self, beyond all the equipments. Immanently also he knows that through every upadhi I only am expressing. At the same time, at the Vyavahara, at each upadhi level, that relation is maintained. That identity is maintained.